Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning into the channel. A while ago I made a video about the maximum punishes on out of stamina throws for all heroes, and I got a lot of comments on that one. Many of these comments were better suggestions or questions about maximum punishes, so I thought with all these questions and with a new hero and some reworks, it must be time to make another updated version of this video. And I would like to say especially thank you to everyone who commented on the last video, because they made this video possible. I hope you enjoy, and there are timestamps in the description. So I'm going to mention which guard position you're supposed to be in while doing the throw, and I'm also going to mention which direction you have to do the throw in, and then finally which moves you have to do and how much damage it deals. Warden. From any guard, throw in any direction, do zone attack and any heavy at 60 damage. I prefer not to do a top heavy because it's slower than the other one and I'm pretty sure it's unsafe. And if you don't want to burn through all your stamina, then instead of the zone attack you just do a light attack. So it's gonna be any light attack, any heavy at 52 damage. A walking meme mentioned the forward dash heavy attack to top unblockable, which actually used to be a thing, that's true, but unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. And Cinex pointed out that there used to be a top heavy called side heavy to side heavy, and yes, again, that was a thing, but unfortunately again it has been nerfed. And finally, Mike Jacob mentioned the top heavy to side heavy at an amazing 80 damage, but again, it's been nerfed. Conqueror. From any guard position, throw either sideways or forward and then do a double top heavy at 63 damage. Remember that you can also throw backwards if you were in top guard, but if you were in side guard it won't work. If you have any other suggestions, then feel free to leave a comment. Peacekeeper. From whatever guard position you're in, you grab them, stab twice, throw in any direction, dash forward, top heavy to light attack. This is 28 raw damage and a lot of bleed damage. I am not 100% sure, but I counted 54 damage total. Remember to dash forward and then do the heavy and not do a forward dash heavy attack because that is less damage. Lawbringer. Da Vinci suggested doing 2 top heavies at 65 damage, and that is actually true, but the first heavy can be from any direction. Also, this works from any guard and you cannot throw backwards. And Atim Al-Kulaki suggested doing a shove to a light attack afterwards, and that used to be a thing, but unfortunately not anymore. Now both Fiery Dark Ray and QLMX suggested doing a heavy attack followed by long arm followed by another heavy attack, and that is true actually, it is 60 damage. I must point out that you have to throw forward. I was never able to make this work if I throw sideways. The timing can be a little bit tricky, and as Fiery Dark Ray points out, you have to delay the long arm a little bit, otherwise you're just gonna god break the air. And finally, Court Goss have a very nice suggestion for a combo, and that is dash forward top light to any heavy to another heavy which is unblockable, and then you can actually get an out of stamina parry which you can punish with a delayed light attack and a top heavy attack for a total of 100 damage. Now Stonelone suggested doing a side heavy to top light at 85 damage, but that unfortunately is not guaranteed and can be blocked or parried. But in a real situation, because the top heavy stuns, I'm pretty sure it's gonna connect, so it's still a pretty good one. And as Swiggity Swooty mentions, if the last light attack was not in the position where the opponent had his guard earlier, then you are very likely to connect. Centurion. So this guy has got 2 really amazing but very difficult punishes for 80 and 90 damage. One of them is knock twice, throw backwards, do a slightly delayed light attack, then do a slightly delayed charge heavy into a charge bash into Eagle's talents. 80 damage. So the timing here is very difficult and it's not gonna work every time, it does for very few people. I filled my controller while I did this, so maybe that can help out with the timing a little bit. Now the second version of this is the same as the first one, except that instead of the light attack you do a heavy attack. Orlando did point out that he had some problems with the second heavy attack, and Bonchinis did point out that there are 3 different kinds of heavy attack that you can experience here. One is a quick follow-up heavy, the second one is Eagle's Talents, and the third one is a heavy starter, which is the one that we want to use in this situation. The result is all up to the timing. So again, here's a clip of my controller, and I hope that can help out a little bit. Now Wilfrey points out that this is 130 damage with Haymaker. Haymaker is the skill that makes you do 10 damage per punch, and he punches 4 times. So light combo 120 like shown here, and the heavy combo is 130. And finally, Murph mentions that this is 120 damage in revenge mode, but actually it's 118. Still pretty good though. Gladiator. And now on to one of my favorite punishers of all time. And thank you very much to Centurion for telling me about this punish and making my day so much better. And here's how it works. You throw in any direction, then you do a side dodge light which misses, you delay a skewer, then throw from the skewer, do a heavy, another heavy which you feint into toe stab into another heavy. And I counted this to 80 damage including all the bleeding. Now remember to delay the skewer until you're completely done with the side dodge light attack, then it will work. If you don't delay, you're not gonna skewer properly. Black Prior. Now Black Prior is super easy, it's the same as usual. You throw in any direction and then you do a light attack from whatever guard you are in and then any heavy attack. This hits for 50 damage. Raider. The Raider can throw the opponent in 2 different ways. One is a regular throw to the side or backwards, the other one is a control throw where you hold down the guard break button and spin around. And we're gonna need the controlled one for the next punish, and this was pointed out to me by Fiery Darkray and Mighty Madman 90. So you do a control throw in any direction, do a dash forward light attack to zone attack at 68 damage, but this is unsafe. So perhaps a better punish, which was pointed out to me by Elijah Jenkins and Samuel Ross, is to do a stunning tap and then top heavy. And a lot of people suggested that if you're close to a wall, you do a control throw into the wall and then do a side heavy to zone attack at an amazing 90 damage. Now, a walking meme and Zhong Shuai both pointed out that you can do this without the wall, but I tried so many times and I really couldn't make it work, so I think it has been nerfed. And finally, Luke Alton mentioned one of the biggest combos that you can do in the whole game, and that is close to a wall, do a top heavy to zone attack at 95 damage, but unfortunately I have not been able to do this since the Raider rework, so I assume that it has been nerfed. Warlord. If you're in top guard, then you throw either sideways or backwards and do a top heavy and side heavy at 70 damage. Fiery Darkray had some concerns about left throws, but I can confirm now that this works as well. On a side guard, you can throw in any direction, do forward dash heavy to headbutt to light attack at 50 damage. Joshua Chang mentioned that the light attack could be replaced by a zone attack. That must have been a thing once, but it must have been changed during the rework because I couldn't make it work. It was then suggested by Felix Dinerv Jansson that you can do 2 side heavies on backwards throws, but I really could not make this work, unfortunately. And Young Splice TV points out that you can do 2 zone attacks at 50 damage, because who needs stamina? Berserker. For the following 2 punishes, I gotta give all credit to Fiery Darkray. From side guard, throw either forward or sideways and do 2 heavies at 68 damage. Now if you were on top guard, you do the exact same thing, but you unlock first. Ooh. Valkyrie. From whatever guard you're in, throw wherever you want to, do a forward dash light attack, sweep and then press heavy. And this should net you a nice 65 damage. Now, Draco, Ethan, Donkey and Tsube all pointed out that you can do a heavy light sweep heavy. And yes, this used to be a thing and I used to use this a lot, but unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. It can be dodged if dodging backwards or to the correct side. Dodging to the wrong side, it will still connect, so maybe it is still worth doing sometimes. Highlander. So if you are in top or right guard, then throw anywhere but backwards and do a light attack at whatever guard you are in and then top heavy at 60 damage. Don't hold down the heavy button for too long because then it will be an unblockable top heavy at only 40 damage. And if you throw backwards, the heavy follow-up is not guaranteed. Now if you are on left guard, then do the exact same thing, but the light attack is going to miss, so it would only deal 45 damage. Alternatively, just go straight to the top heavy. Shaman. The easiest one you can do is from any guard position, throw anywhere you want, do a heavy attack and then left heavy at 60 damage. And as an alternative, this was suggested by Tyrant Remedy and KS Yomada. You can do a heavy to another heavy and top light at 69 damage. More specifically, the first heavy cannot be a top heavy and the second heavy cannot be a left heavy. And if the opponent is bleeding, there's a really cool combo you can do. This was mentioned by Fiery Darkrai and iCrunch. And that is heavy, then right heavy which you soft feint into backdash into Predator's Mercy for a very well deserved 70 damage. Kensei. So from any guard position, throw forward, do a forward dash light attack to top heavy at 62 damage. This is unsafe though, so you can be guard broken afterwards. A safer version is suggested by Emperor Bunnybun, Financial Stability and Fiery Darkrai, and that is simply to throw forward, immediately do a light finisher and then a side heavy. This deals only 2 less damage. If you were on top guard, you can throw in whichever direction you want. Shugoki. From any guard position, you throw wherever you want to and then do any light attack and then a charge top heavy at 60 damage. And Fiery Darkrai and Mighty Madman 90, they both point out that you can do a light attack to a heavy which you soft feint into a hug. This is only 40 damage, but you heal 1 bar of health and you get all your stamina back. Orochi. If you're in top guard, throw to the side and do double top heavy at a pretty OP 70 damage. If you were in side guard, you do the exact same thing, but you unlock first. Just be aware that you shouldn't unlock too early. Nobushi. If the opponent is not already bleeding, then you do a forward dash light attack to top heavy at 72 damage. 20 of this damage is from bleeding. Guard position and throw direction do not matter. And if the opponent is already bleeding, you throw forward and do double top heavy at 86 damage. Now, Lost Titanium Wolf and Wa'a told about a really sick combo you can do if you're close to a wall, and that is forward dash light attack to the same light attack to kick to top heavy. And this crazy combo deals no less than 94 damage, and 20 of that is from bleeding. Shinobi. From any guard position and only on side throws, thank you very much for that, Fiery Darkrai. You can then do a light and then heavy light. As you can see, the last light attack can be blocked, so it's gonna deal only 2 cheap damage, but it cannot be parried, so it's safe enough to do this. And finally, Dansus, he mentioned to unlock and do 2 heavies, but I could not make this work, unfortunately. Aramusha. From a side guard, you throw either forward or right, thank you Fiery Darkrai, and then you do a side light to side heavy for 60 damage. If you're in top guard, you again throw forward or right, and then you do a top light to top heavy, this time only 55 damage. In either cases, throwing to the left will result in you missing the first attack. Nuxia points out that you can do a forward dash heavy to side light at 42 damage. It is less damage, but you are allowed to continue your chain, so it's pretty useful still. Leon Weissofner and Loud Music for Us both mentioned doing 2 side heavies. This doesn't seem to work on out of stamina throws, but it does work on out of stamina parries, and it's no less than 85 damage. Hitokiri. From any guard position, throw forward, do a heavy attack from where your guard was in, and then any heavy attack for 60 damage. Tiandi. From any guard position, throw anywhere but backwards and do a light attack at wherever your guard was in, and then any heavy for 52 damage. Jiangjun. If you are in top guard, throw wherever you want to and do 2 top heavies at 75 damage. If you were on side guard, then again throw wherever you want and then do a zone attack to top heavy for 63 damage. Nuxia. Once again, big shout out to Fiery Darkray for helping with this one. So from any guard you throw sideways or back and then you do a light heavy light for 59 damage. The first light attack must be from the same guard, the second 2 attacks direction they don't matter. Shaolin. Now big shout out to Alex Carlos and once again Fiery Darkray for helping me with this combo. You do double side light, hold down the light to enter Chi stance, move guard to top position, press heavy while still holding the light. This is very tricky and it's not gonna work every time. If you're in top guard, you then have the pleasure of being able to throw wherever you want to, and then you do the exact same thing, but instead of the double side light, you do a single top light. Finally, Hans Snowlow and 2Ton57, they both mentioned the back throw heavy to Chi stand top heavy, and I can confirm that that definitely used to be a thing, but it seems to have been nerfed. Yes, and I think that was everything. So thank you very much for everyone who left comments, and if you have anything additionally to add, then if I get enough of them, then I can make another version. So let's see how that goes. Until then, I hope you have a nice day and see you around.